Okay, the next step of the nail pan is to get it cut out. Before you go to try to cut this out, you want to make absolutely sure that you get it checked. Make sure all of your measurements are correct. Make sure all of your bend and cut lines are labeled correctly, just in case you miss something. You're going to cut it out with a pair of aviation snips or tin snips. These aviation snips, you have to squeeze the handle and pull this lever back down, and they'll spring back open. The way that you're going to use these, you're going to cut these corner pieces out so you can make your tabs so it'll fit into the machine. We're first going to start by cutting the long lines. So we'll cut these all the way off and just kind of let it fall. Same thing on the opposing side. Cut the long diagonal. Going to do all 4 of them like this. After that, it's where it's really important to make sure that you are looking at the correct cut lines. So this diagonal and this straight line right here are going to be cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my snips and I'm just going to cut into that intersection right here. I'm not going to cut into this piece. And then cut here, right on the line. If you've done it right, it should fall right out. On to the other side. Again, making sure that you are cutting this correctly. You do not want to cut the tabs off. If you cut the tabs off, then there's not going to be anything to spot weld to. If you cut the tabs accidentally in the wrong spot, it's better to have them in the wrong spot than to not have them at all. If you've done it correctly, all of your tabs will be facing out long ways. So if you look, this one's facing out, this one's facing out, 3 and 4. The last part, you're just going to kind of have to clip those points ever so slightly. And then you're ready to start the bending. The bending is going to be done on either the cornice brake or the box and pan brakes. What you're going to have to do is you're going to first start on the outside. You're going to do your hems. So you always want to make sure that you do your hems first. The way that this works, you're going to have to take your project, line it up as straight as you possibly can. If this line is crooked, it's going to bend crooked. So you have it locked over here. You're just going to lift your handles up, bend it as far as you can get it, pull it out. It's going to leave you at about this angle. You're just going to have to go back and set that here in a minute. Working around the outside, again, making sure that you're locking the blocks very straight. If you put it in there crooked like this, you see how the line is crooked? It's going to bend it crooked. So you want to make sure it's very good and straight. Lift up. So at this portion, you're about halfway done with your hems. So what you have to do is you have to now do what we call set your hems. To set the hems, the easiest way on this thin gauge metal is to just simply lift the handle up, put your project underneath the blocks, and squeeze it down. Squeeze it down, it'll lock it down, it'll take it down really nice and flat and even. So you can do that on the thin gauge metal. So now our hems are made. Next step is actually start folding the sides up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line here with the tabs. I really want to make sure that I have my tabs underneath. I'm going to find a block that covers both the edge and my tabs. Clamp it as straight as I can possibly get it and bring this edge up to 90 degrees. You want this to be 90 degrees because you want the side of your box to stand straight up. Then you're going to turn, do the opposite side.